Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Top 5 Fridays. T Bougie 86 here again. And it's that time again, guys. Yes, what me and the guys are doing this week is our top 5 favorite werewolf films. Yes, which is very hard for me because I'm a huge fan of werewolf films. Even like the shittier ones, I do like. And a lot of like solid werewolf films over the years. Not as many as in the last few years, though, if that makes sense. But still, like a solid, like a lot of them that come out every year and uh, every generation, anyways. You know what I mean? And of course, this is my top five, and this is my own personal top five. So any of them could be all different or whatever. And like I say all the time, when we do more werewolves and even more werewolves, you'll see a lot more of my other favorites that didn't make this top five. So without further ado, let's get right into it, guys. At number five, we have kind of a very interesting film, I have to say. First time I saw this, it's a werewolf film, but it's kind of like a reverse werewolf film in a way. That getting a little too off topic of what goes on within the plot. But when I first saw this DVD art, I'm like laughing to myself because of the cover art, but the cover art doesn't do this film justice at all. And that, of course, is Blood Moon. Yes, uh, really cool setting. This takes place like this carnival comes to town where they have like this freak show, and there's this wolf girl, and then this guy, she ends up befriending one of the guys of the town whose mother ends up being like a vet, and she uses like the serum to try to get like, like the hair off of her face. So what ends up happening is it becomes like a reverse like werewolf film. It has different side effects on her, which I do like that aspect of it. It's a very interesting way to do like this type of film without, like the usual like style of a werewolf film. And it has some great performances. Like we have Tim Curry as like the leader of like this pack of the carnival, and Leslie Ann Warren and Grace Jones, and really cool like interesting take on a werewolf film. I think it's very untalked about. It's a very underrated film. So that's why it's a number five for me personally. I loved how this one went. Blood Moon at number five. Number four is John Landis's classic American Werewolf in London. Uh, Loved it when the first time I saw it. Very great mixture of like horrific, like stalking scenes with like dark comedy in a way, and a lot of like goofy comedy too. Like the scenes between David Nine and Griffin Dunn are some of the best in my opinion. It's a very interesting like way of doing like a werewolf film, and the way that they do it with their comedic touch is really good. And there's like a lot of like one-liners and nods to other like werewolf films throughout it, and it's very funny. Yeah, American Werewolf in London, classic stuff. Uh, Number four. No, actually, yeah, number three. That was a number four. Losing count as usual during lists. At number three, of course, is the Lon Chaney Jr. classic, The Wolfman, the film that started it all. Great film. Lon Chaney Jr. Uh, Tremendous performance. Like throughout like the rest of the series, of course, he went on to like play the character of Larry Tablet uh, through like the whole like franchise of the Universal Monster, like even the crossover ones, even like Abbott and Costello, and he just does a tremendous job. It's like a very uh, interesting role for a character to take. A man gloomed with the impending doom of being cursed forever, and it's just a tremendous film. The first Wolfman, the film that started it all, like all the folklore and all the movie stuff. Awesome shit. Great transfer too on that Blu-ray, by the way. I just wanted to throw that one out there. Number two, which this might shock some people, if they know me, because this was my number one for the longest time until recently. And that, of course, is The Howling. Yes. Love The Howling with a passion. It's the one that I grew up with the most. Great werewolf films. I love the look of the werewolves, like the triped werewolves in this one. Uh, Great, like humor. Like I said, like this one has its own type of humor within it. Great script by John Sayles, uh, and a lot of like cool like touches of like thrown like I like they had like Howl's chili on like the table like when Slim Pickens was eating it, and yeah, what can I say about The Howling? Tremendous film. I love it. It's one of my favorite werewolf films of all time. That's why it's at number two. It was like my number one for the longest time until this film came in my life. And that, of course, is Late Phases, Night of the Lone Wolf, directed by one of my favorite directors, Adrian Garcia Bolgiano. Uh, Nick D'Amici and Ethan Embry do phenomenal in the film. Nick D'Amici plays a blind man who ends up going to like this uh, kind of like a community where like elderly like people live, and ends up there's a werewolf involved, and he's prepping for like fighting this werewolf because he knows that it's going to be after him next. Uh, great movie. I love the score. One of my favorite scores actually is this movie. Uh, really tremendous. The performances alone make it like so much like what it is. You know, it's just a phenomenal film, and I like the look of the werewolves. Uh, I like them because they're not like your usual. They're kind of like a mixture of like what we would see like a tribe, like a quadruped like werewolf, with like the four legs, with like mixed with like a one with a two leg, but they have like this like gremlin look to them, with like their face and their ears and stuff, which I do like the aspect of that. That's why I like to look at them. Uh, Fucking Late Phases, awesome movie, one of my favorites of the last recent years, and became my favorite werewolf film. I watch this thing all the time now. So yeah, that's it for my list, guys, of my top five. Some like easy ones that you knew would probably be in there, but like I said, when we get more into like our series and stuff, we'll get delving into even more werewolves and you know other things. You never know what comes up. But I'll do a little quick recap for you. So first up, Late Phases, The Howling, number two. The Wolfman at number three. Number four, American Werewolf in London, classic stuff. And number five, Blood Moon. Yes. Just a very different take on a werewolf film. It was kind of like a mixture of which one I would want to be in my part five. It was between this and another film, which you'll see on a future list. So, yeah, awesome shit. Alright, guys, this is for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I'll be back soon with another one. And stay tuned next week. My update's coming up. And if you can see like the stack back there, it's going to be a two-parter, guys. So I'll see you then, guys. Peace out.